I would tell you that I've been at Gannondale for 29 years. And so my association in the community has really encompassed my time here. Most people in the community don't know what Gannondale is. And so I would remind people that we're a residential placement for adolescent girls. We were founded by the Sisters of Our Lady of Charity in 1934. And it's one of the few programs that is all female. And I came here as a counselor, worked my way up, became the director in 2004. And so during that time, I've had the great opportunity to touch thousands of teenage girls' lives. You know, I can't tell you that there's a specific event or a specific time. The work is showing up every day, persevering, trying to help someone else heal their traumas. But I can tell you what it feels like when it happens. And I'll share a very short story. I was in a restaurant one night, and I was served by a waitress. And when my meal came, a different waitress came to the table, and it was one of my former residents. And she said, I switched tables because I wanted to serve you. And I got the biggest plate of spaghetti with extra sauce and extra meatballs. And when I was leaving the restaurant, I heard my name being called across the parking lot, and she was running out with tray in hand, and she gave me a great big hug and said, "You saved my life." Well, that's what this is about. You know, it's about that every single day being there for our kids. Most of our girls have either been victims of abuse and neglect, or they've committed some type of offense, and that's how they've come to us. I would tell you that probably 85% have been sexually abused. Many have been physically abused, prostituted, have been involved in substance abuse or watched their families be substance abusers. And so the traumas that they've experienced are so intense, and quite frankly would probably bring most of us to our knees. We try to help them recover from that trauma. And typically what I would tell people we do is we reparent. We give these girls a home, a place where they can be safe, a place where they can find out that they don't have to be a victim, and they don't have to bully to get their basic needs met. They can find another way to cope with life and regain some of the strength they need to be good and productive young women. During the convention, Michelle Obama gave a speech, and one of the things she said, and I paraphrase that, but one of the things she said that touched me was, you know, when you have the opportunity to walk through that door, don't slam it shut behind you. You know, reach back and pull somebody else through. And so I think that we can all relate, those of us who have grown up and had other people help us, we can relate to those people who have seen us through hard times. And I think we have a responsibility to help other women grow up, stand on our shoulders. We need to reach out to other people and give them a helping hand along the way. I have huge hopes. This program has always been a residential program. We looked at our mission and whether or not we were still relevant and what the emerging needs of the community were, especially Erie and the surrounding area. And with all of the budget cuts, we found that people were falling through the cracks yet again. I work for Women Religious. They've always tried to help those who are marginalized. And so in January, we started a community counseling program, and we've opened that up to all women and children. And it's so that people from outside can come in, get the therapy they need. We're dealing with little kids, little 5-year-olds, women who are trying to be foster parents who are just struggling under the weight of it. And I'm stunned at how many women and children we've seen in such a short time. So my goal in the foreseeable future is to grow that program, and to make sure that anybody who wants help knows that they can find it here. I can think back on one of my dearest friends who gave me a great piece of advice. We were actually traveling abroad, and she said to me, always walk as though you know where you're going. You know, act like you know what you're doing, and it's amazing how people will respond to you. And I think that piece of advice has stuck with me, that if we can be confident in what we're doing, other people will see that and they'll join with us. I think that's huge.